Greetings, good morning, welcome to Rod's Reports. The headline, a lot of talk about this mass incarceration, new Jim Crow, and just in general the disparity between people of brown or black skin and people of lighter skin. The first thing I think that people should recognize is that police are going after people based on the perceived economic standing. Based on what the police believe that their financial situation is, they will go after somebody because they know it's an easier case. They're not going to go after people that they believe are able to hire attorneys or could possibly even represent themselves. They're always going to go after people who are the easy cases, the easy charges, the easy convictions. And that's the structure of the system itself, where the promotions are given to those that have the more arrests. Same things with the judges. Same thing with the lawyers. The more lawyers that get people off, the better you're considered a lawyer. But there's kind of hidden attributes to it, where lawyers don't necessarily want to get everybody off all the time. They try to work with the counties because in doing so, it's an advantage to them later on if they have to go back and work with those same particular people. So lawyers are trying to play the balancing act. They're the Pharisees. They always did place burdens on men's shoulder, grievous to be borne. And that's what the Christ spoke about, you know, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. So we can change, you know, they can try to change the statistics, but they're always going to go after those people that are uneducated. And that's really about our education. It's really about taking a little bit of time to sit down and understand the Constitution that was written by us by the slave drivers, and at least be able to read it and understand. But that's not enough, because I know, like, for example, if you're in front of a judge and you say, "Judge, I have the right to trial by jury," they say, "No, you don't have a right to trial by jury. You know, the state overrides that." But yet in the 7th Amendment it says anyone should have a right to trial by jury in civil cases that exceeds $20. Now back then they didn't distinguish between common and civil. Civil was the law then. They've adapted this term common. And so from looking at that, I would interpret that as being that everybody has a right to trial by jury, but they won't give that to you. Now, the 10th Amendment states that the states can make laws that don't impose on the original first 9 amendments. In other words, the first 9 amendments are granted to everybody regardless of whether the state approves or not, but the states are able to impose their own laws on top of those 9. Well, you know, again, you go back and you look like something like the 7th Amendment, where the state doesn't want to give you a trial by jury, but yet it clearly says that the FBI or the federal government and the Thomas Jeffersons, the George Washingtons wanted you to have that trial by jury. So they tweaked it. So it doesn't hold much merit anymore to somebody like myself. But of course that doesn't mean anything to them, because of course if the public accepts it, it's okay. But here's the kicker: when people start to get educated and they start incarcerating educated people, the educated people begin to educate the people within. And then they have real problems, because they release a whole bunch of educated people out there, and the education begins to spread. And the education is focused on either defending themselves against attack against the police, or perhaps even attacking the police. And so it really becomes a mess. I know, you know, in my situation, if I were to be incarcerated, you know, I would take that opportunity to form a particular party of incarcerated individuals. And, you know, since there's a high percentage of us and we have family and everything else, you know, it could really spread. It could really spread where, you know, in 10 years from now we have the convict party. And people are like, you know, hey, shit, it ain't working for me out here, I might as well give them a chance. And believe me, we will make sure that people eat.